Listen to me, if you genuinely want to win in life, if you truly aim to dominate, to thrive, to be the man who steps into any room and earns respect without uttering a word, you need to grasp one essential truth. Your mind is either your greatest ally or your deadliest adversary. It is either the engine that propels you forward with relentless force or the anchor that holds you back in the pit of mediocrity. And let me make something very clear that most people try to ignore. If your life is a mess, if you're broke, if you're out of shape, if you're directionless, it's on you. I don't care about your excuses. Your parents had no money, so what? You didn't attend the best schools, who cares? The world didn't deal you a perfect hand, cry me a river. The raw truth is you are where you are because of your mindset. And the moment you accept that is the moment you regain control of your future. The mentally weak point fingers, the mentally strong accept accountability. And when you stop seeing yourself as a victim, you begin evolving into a victor. Every single moment of every single day, you are making a choice to either wire your brain for power, achievement, and dominance, or let it decay in self-doubt and weakness. And let me say this clearly, most people lean toward weakness because it demands nothing. It's easy to whine, it's easy to play the blame game, it's easy to lie in bed wallowing in self-pity, but you know what's not easy? Winning. And this is exactly why so many never experience it. If you want to conquer your mind, understand this above all. Discipline is everything. People love to talk about motivation. Motivation is a trick. It's an emotional high that vanishes like smoke. But discipline is the foundation of legends. When you own discipline, you don't need to feel motivated, you just act. You do what's required regardless of your emotions. You rise, you work, you grind, you dominate, because that's your identity. Let me explain something. Life is a battlefield. Every single day is a war. And your true enemy, it's not your manager, it's not culture, it's not your parents or your critics. The real enemy is within. It's that fragile part of you that wants to surrender, that wants to complain, that wants to stay in its comfort zone and dodge the pain. And if you allow that side of you to take the lead, you'll never break out of mediocrity. You'll never climb to the top, because this world rewards only the strong. Examine history. Consider the men who created legacies, the fighters, the rulers, the innovators. Do you think they wasted their time glued to screens, whining about their circumstances, hoping someone would come bail them out? Never. They forged their minds into weapons. They conditioned their bodies into machines. They thrived because they chose unwavering discipline. And that's exactly what you must do. Fortify your mind like a soldier preparing for war purge, all weakness, shut down, distractions. Stop feeding your brain with junk. Stop watching meaningless garbage. Stop spending your time around people who drain your energy. Your mind is a fortress. Protect it with everything you've got. I'm not interested in your reasons. I don't care if you're exhausted. I don't care if you're heartbroken. You know what I do when I'm drained? I keep going. You know what I do when life knocks me down? I rise and hit harder, because defeat is not an option. I won't allow weakness to take over. Too many of you live as if time is infinite. But here's the harsh truth. It's not every second you throw away every hour lost in self-pity is gone forever. And one day you'll look in the mirror, aged, broken, drowning in regret, knowing that you wasted your whole life hoping for the perfect moment. Newsflash, the perfect moment is now. Your mind is sneaky. It'll whisper excuses. It'll beg you to ease up. It'll promise you tomorrow, but tomorrow is a lie. You either claim control right now or you stay stuck, trapped in weakness, frustration. You dream of becoming a king, then start with your thoughts. Act like a king, think like one, carry yourself like one, earn your crown before it's handed to you. There's no miracle pill, no secret path, no shortcut. There's only iron will, hard effort, and a mindset forged in fire. Let me ask you this. How much longer will you stall? How many more days or years will you let slip by before you finally wake up and realize no one's coming to rescue you? There's no magical savior. There's no divine intervention. There's no sudden jackpot that'll solve your problems overnight. The only path to victory is the one you carve yourself, with focus, discipline, and an indomitable mindset. And let me make one thing absolutely clear. This has zero to do with fortune. This has nothing to do with natural talent. This is about deciding to become the kind of man who does not accept defeat. Give a weak man every resource, every opportunity, and he'll still manage to fail. Why? Because his mind is brittle, because he lacks self-belief, because he doesn't have the consistency to do what must be done. Now, flip the scenario. Give a strong-willed man nothing. Place him in chaos. Strip away every luxury, and guess what? He'll adapt. He'll rise, he'll conquer. Not because he had it easy, but because he refused to be crushed by hardship. You think life is unfair? Good? It should be. Life is a trial, and many of you are flunking because you keep searching for a loophole. There is no loophole. Nothing is free. Everything worth having, success, wealth, respect, status, must be fought for, and the journey is punishing. It's rough, it's relentless, but that's the price of greatness. I get flooded with messages from men crying about how hard things are, Tate. I'm overwhelmed, Tate. I feel lost, Tate. How do I turn things around? You want my advice? Work harder. That's it. Stop complicating everything. If you're broke, hustle. If you're out of shape, train. If you lack clarity, get laser focused. Every issue has one core remedy: relentless discipline. Hear me on this. No one cares about your complaints. No one is shedding tears over your pain. No one is going to rescue you. Results are the only thing that matters. And if you aren't producing results, then you're invisible. It doesn't matter how smart you think you are, how much untapped potential you believe you have. If you're not grinding, you are nothing. Some of you are exactly where you were half a decade ago. Same income, same habits, same pain. Why? Because you won't take charge. Because every time adversity shows up, you fold, you rationalize, you delay, and then you wonder why your life is stagnant. Listen carefully. Success doesn't care about your feeling. It's about actions. Winners move forward regardless of how they feel. It doesn't matter if they're burnt out. Doesn't matter if they're overwhelmed. Doesn't matter if the world throws barriers at them. They persist. They execute. They produce. You have no clue how powerful your brain is. You don't even know what you're capable of because you've never demanded the extreme from yourself. You've never burned the bridges and gone all in where victory was your only outcome. That's why you're still stuck. That's why you're still ordinary. Because you've never looked yourself in the eye and demanded more. But today that changes. No more delays, no more begging for inspiration, no more praying for signs. You don't need another book or podcast or motivational video. You need to decide, make the call to stop being soft, to cut the crap, to take full ownership of your mind and shape your destiny. Because let me tell you, once you conquer your thoughts, you become untouchable. Once you replace fear with conviction, once you destroy self-doubt with determination, no setback, no failure, no opposition can stop your momentum. You will adapt. You will overcome. You will endure. The world honors the brave, the focused, the ones who never break under pressure. So the real question is, which one are you? Are you built for this, or are you just taught? Because if you're not ready to become the man you were meant to be, then stay right where you are. Forgotten, defeated, and someday too late. You'll look back and realize you had every opportunity, but you lacked the guts to claim it. I refuse to let that be my story. And if there's even a shred of pride left in you, you'll refuse that ending too. Now stand up. You're still reading. That's a sign. It means you're waking up. It means deep inside you recognize the truth. You've been lying to yourself, killing time, avoiding the hard path, waiting for someone else to change your story. Instead of being the author of your destiny, let me break it to you. Most people will never wake up. They'll stay stuck in their routine. They'll settle for less. They'll die with their dreams still inside because they are slaves to their own minds. The average man is a captive of his own comfort, a captive of his doubts, a captive of his rationalizations. He lets his feelings govern his behavior. He lets diversions hijack his attention. He lets society dictate what he's supposed to do, how he's supposed to think, what he's supposed to accept, and then he wonders why he's dissatisfied. I have a single question for you. Are you that man? Are you a servant to your own comfort? Or are you the kind of man who refuses to be dictated to, who refuses to be typical? Because let me tell you one truth. If you don't take absolute control of your mind, someone or something else definitely will. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just look around you. The world is filled with men who have been conditioned into believing that mediocrity is okay, that being soft is fine, that failure is simply a part of the deal. No, failure is a decision. And if you keep making it, you will continue to lose. I've said it before and I'll repeat it. Success doesn't care about how you feel. It's about what actions you take. Your mood is secondary. Winners don't care if they're exhausted. They don't care if they're uninspired. They don't care if the situation is difficult. They move forward regardless. That's the reason they succeed. Feeble men allow their emotions to govern them. I don't feel like training today. I don't feel like acquiring a new ability. I don't feel like hustling. Fine. That's why you're behind. That's why you're struggling. That's why your situation is laughable. Because rather than behaving like a man, you behave like a child who needs everything to be smooth, who requires life to be easy. But newsflash, life isn't easy. Life is a battle. And if you don't figure out how to endure, if you don't learn how to thrive through pain, if you don't learn how to govern your own thoughts, you will be crushed. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how high your IQ is. If you lack mental grit, you will never sustain success. Look at the most accomplished men throughout time. Were they gentle? Were they idle? Were they sitting around waiting for the right vibe to take action? No, they were relentless. They were structured. They did what had to be done no matter the cost, and that is exactly who you must become. You need to become a juggernaut, a force of will, a man so dialed in, so stable, so mentally resolute that nothing can halt you. Not pain, not defeat, not obstacles, nothing. You have to discipline your thoughts the same way a warrior prepares for conflict. That means no more diversions, no more foolishness, no more justifications. That means removing draining, unproductive people. That means ending the obsession with comfort. That means starting every single day with direction, with fire, and attacking it with absolute intensity. Because here's the truth. Life doesn't reward the fragile. It doesn't reward the complacent. It doesn't reward those who pause, who whine, who wait around for something magically shift. Life rewards the steadfast. Life rewards the relentless. Life rewards those who appear and perform the task. Your mental space is the front line. That's where battles are won or lost. Not in your office, not in the gym, not in the external world, but inside your own skull. Before you take your first step, before you lift anything, before you say a single word, your internal dialogue sets the tone. You think like a failure, you behave like a failure. You think like a ruler, you behave like a ruler. It's that basic. And yet so many of you sabotage yourselves before you've even begun. You rise and the first thing you do is grab your device, swipe, 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 bombarding your brain with noise, negativity, irrelevant opinions from people who have never moved the needle in their lives. And then you're surprised you lack drive. You're surprised you lack aim. You're shocked you're stuck in a loop of disappointment. Because you've let your internal world grow weak. Your mind is supposed to be a blade, a well-honed instrument, a fortress that nothing infiltrates. But you've allowed it to become a sandbox for complacency, laziness, and distraction. And if you don't seize control, if you don't chisel your thoughts and temper your spirit, you'll never escape the mediocrity that cages you. You want to know what I do when I wake up? I dominate my headspace. I take charge of my focus before the outside world can interfere. I equip myself for war because that's what this life is. A never-ending battle against laziness, against noise, against the useless version of you that wants to give in. And the issue with most of you is that you permit that version to win every single time. You let your brain whisper, stay in bed a little longer. Don't hit the gym today. Take it slow. And you listen, you comply. You let your thoughts lead your moves rather than commanding them like a sovereign. That's why you're behind. Your mind isn't your companion. It is an asset, a weapon, a mechanism that must be sharpened, mastered, and directed. Because if you don't take the reins, it will steer you. And that iteration of you, the one that's soft, aimless, and chained to comfort, will destroy your potential before you ever taste achievement. Look at the giants of history. Do you think they paused to find the right energy before acting? Do you think they allowed superficial diversions to drag them away from purpose? Absolutely not. They were fixed. They were methodical. They carved their mental discipline into steel, and that is why they won. You need to do likewise. You must forge mental fortitude like a gladiator heading to war. Each time a frail thought creeps in, you crush it. Each time you consider backing off, you press on. Each time life throws resistance, you stand up and prove that you are a man who will not shatter. Because once you seize control of your thinking, nothing can limit you. Not adversity, not anxiety, not setbacks. You will evolve into a weapon, an elemental force, a man who doesn't waver, doesn't gripe, doesn't pause until his mission is complete. That is what mastering your thinking looks like. That is the line that divides victors from quitters. So here's the real question. Are you going to remain soft or are you going to claim the wheel? Because if you don't, life will take it. And trust me, you will not enjoy where it takes you. Your mind is your most powerful possession. It is your deadliest asset, your strongest ally, your worst traitor, and yet most of you treat it like scrap. You allow trash to pollute it. You allow weak thoughts to direct your motion. You let distractions siphon your energy, and you complain about stagnation. Let me tell you something. Your present reality is the mirror of your thinking. If your thoughts are feeble, your outcomes will be too. If your thoughts are messy, your life will mirror that chaos. If your mind is sharp, your reality will reflect that precision. All your wins, all your failures, all your breakthroughs, all your roadblocks begin with your thinking. The core issue with most of you is that you've relinquished all control over your own mind. You wake up and instantly slip into an old routine of distraction, hesitation, and limitation. The first move you make is check your feed. Flood your consciousness with trivial content. Saturate your attention with drama that does nothing to elevate you. When you do it every day, you hand your brain over to external garbage rather than shaping your own direction. And that is why you're disconnected. That's why you feel unmotivated, because you've handed away control. The men who triumph, truly triumph, do not give away their mental authority. They hardwire themselves for progress from the moment they're awake. Their mindset is locked in. They are exacting. They protect their headspace like warriors. No fluff, no distractions, no second guessing. Only a clear, unshakable vision of the goal and the grit to pursue it. I receive the same questions daily. How do I fix my thinking? How do I build discipline? How do I become strong? And my answer never changes. Cut the weakness from your thoughts. Stop feeding yourself garbage. Stop dwelling in doubt. Stop keeping toxic people around. Stop throwing your mental energy at things that leave you empty. Your mindset must be cultivated. Each time a soft idea slips in, destroy it each time. Hesitation shows its face. Erase it each time you notice yourself slipping into excuse mode. Destroy the pattern. Your brain is a muscle. If you neglect it, it becomes dull and fragile. But if you stress it, if you condition it, if you polish it, it becomes unshakable. A core of steel that not even failure can dent. And don't get it twisted. This isn't a one-time effort. This is an eternal battle. Every day your brain will try to pull you into past patterns, former fears, outdated comforts. You have to resist nonstop until mental strength is your default, until structure becomes instinct, until you morph into the man who never pauses, never moans, never settles until the job is done. The gap between those who achieve and those who stay stuck is basic. Achievers don't let feelings hijack them. The stuck ones do. Achievers don't allow attention to scatter. The stuck ones do. Achievers don't wait around for the stars to align. They act while everyone else imagines. So which are you going to be? Are you going to keep existing as a pawn to your thoughts governed by fear, doubt, apathy? Or will you rise and claim ownership? Because the second you do, the instant you crush the excuses, block out the clutter, and silence the noise, that is when everything changes. Your thoughts are the master key. Conquer them or be conquered. The decision is yours.